If you come into my Bloomberg terminal, the upshot of all of this is that the market increasingly doubts whether this deal will happen, right? That's the spread between the $54.20 offer price and where we're currently trading. We're down for an 8th straight day, John, as you know. Where do we go from here?
We'll ask someone else. Ed Ludlow, thank you. I'm going to ask Dan Ives of Wedbush, who says this. This circus now takes another turn as Musk appears to be walking from his deal or driving a much lower price on the spam fiasco. For Twitter, the street will now assign a high probability a deal does not happen. Dan Ives joined us right now. Dan, you and the team over at Wedbush say 60% chance that Musk walks away from Twitter. Why isn't it higher than that?
I mean, it could be higher. I mean, it could be as high as 70, 75%. I think what Ed's talking about, if a deal does get done, it's significantly lower than the 54.20. I mean, 54.20 at this point, it's out the window. There's a better chance for me playing for the Celtics in the playoffs, and that deal happened at that price. Now it just comes down to, can they renegotiate on the bot issue, or does he walk? And of course, if he walks, you know, it's not as simple as just a $1 billion breakup fee. I think there's also a lot of issues that could play out in court that the Twitter board would contend as well.
Oh, so Dan, talk to me about that. What do you think those issues would be?
I think if you look at the actual specifics of the deal, some of the actual due diligence, I think there's questions about if he could actually walk on this specific issue. And that's why right now, I mean, Twitter board, they're between a rock and a hard place because there is a deal that's agreed upon. Obviously, the market has dramatically changed. We continue to believe Musk got cold feet. It is more of a scapegoat issue. No doubt the bot issue is clear and present. That's a known issue. But the fact that he's trying to contend it, I mean, the New York City cab driver knew that Twitter had a bot issue.
Dan,
and I think that's
wait a
the
second, though. Just help me understand this a little bit more. Why can't he just walk away, pay the $1 billion, and that's it?
Well, I mean, I think there's some specific due diligence that he ultimately would need to prove, right? That about the 5% being inaccurate versus what he's talking about. And that specific issue needs to play out right now behind closed doors in terms of them either renegotiating, coming to a number, coming to what ultimately would be a lower deal price. And that's why the street right now is assigning Musk. He's getting cold feet looking this is a scapegoat to try to get out of the deal. If he does do a deal, it's obviously at a much lower price. And that's why right now that street is basically waiting to see how the negotiations go behind the scenes.
Well, no one is seeing this play out behind closed doors. We're seeing it play out in public, one. And two, if a higher price is on the table, Twitter's in play, Dan, for more than just Elon Musk. Who else is lining up, circling around this name?
I think that's the fundamental problem because they'll be at the altar with no one there. Because at these prices, I don't think there's a strategic or a financial that's interested. I think you start to get to lower prices, then you could start to, ultimately see some bidders come up. But that's why right now, Musk, I still believe there is some chance he wants to get the deal done at a lower price. But the problem is that I just don't see any other strategic or financial bidders out there, which is why Twitter's back's against the wall in terms of how they handle this, what I'll call Alfred Hitchcock-like episode.
Dan, good news for Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, this has been over $100 per share overhang on Tesla stock. Big part of it is that leverage. The 300 billions come off of Tesla in terms of Musk's golden child. And I think ultimately that was really where the rubber met the road. I think that's what really changed the mind. He underestimated, I think, the impact on Tesla stock. This would be a bit of a relief. But let's just be clear. The way Musk has handled this is a disaster. It's a black eye for Musk. And I think in the eyes of the street, I think there's actually net negative impact, even in terms of for Tesla stock, just the way Musk has handled this.